Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Red Dirt and Stardust, a science fantasy Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Western and Pirate campaign. There is a little small warning for fantasy violence, but other than that, it should be milder than our last campaign. So, where we last left off, the group was sent by Yvon, the Barn Owl Divination Wizard Mayor, into the mines of Drake's Ridge to dispatch some rust monsters and a Zorn. There were a few discoveries, personal and location wise, that happened while going down into the mine, but finally they faced off against the Zorn. And after an incredibly slow battle, because the Zorn moved very slowly, they finally managed to kill it, finding the loot in its guts and divided it up. So we are going to start right then and there as you have finished dividing up all of your loot. You now have all of your various items that you've received. What is it that you would like to do?
Well, we're still in the caves, right?
You are still in the cave.
Should we, I don't know, bring proof that we killed the Zorn? Uh,
Mm, seemed
I will
like
say
it.
that is a little hard because the Zorn kind of melted into like clay.
Right.
and we'll make a pot out of it, give it to the dwarf.
Well, I mean, he ate a whole bunch of shit.
Oh,
Probably,
right. Should
probably,
we
a couple of them rocks or some silver or something. I'm sure.
should
Hand
we
something.
you know, do some little grave robbing?
Yeah, I don't know. I assume that'll be enough.
Can we do investigation to see if there's anything like left in that bunch of clay?
Yes, you may. Um, Anybody who wants to roll an investigation, anyone who wants to help, cast guidance, whatever it is.
Sure, I'll help action.
Investigation. There we go.
Who are you going to give the help action to?
Oh, 21.
Wait, are you investigating too?
Yeah.
I mean, should I?
Sure, I
I
guess.
mean, I got a
Oh, he
21.
got a
So you can do
21,
whatever
but he
you
already
want.
rolled, so we'll give you the help.
Yeah.
So, with your knowledge of the rocky terrain here around Drake's Ridge on Gold Rush, you kind of tentatively dig through this sort of clay-like slag that was the stomach of this creature, and you find, I'm going to,
Roll
I like
it.
the
you
sculpty
find
texture.
about 5 gold worth of silver ore that is actually usable and not
Oh,
pockmarked or tarnished or something beyond recognition. You find about 5 gold of this. It's silver ore. So it's probably going to be worth more once it's refined, but it is currently in its ore state.
perfect. Should I add that to my
Yep, add that to your inventory. 5 gold of silver ore.
inventory?
I reckon that'd serve as mighty fine proof of slaying the beast.
Yeah, I
Or that
think
we
you'll.
were in an ore cave.
Also, that.
There you are. So silver, uh, add items. There we go. Sorry, 1 second.
No worries.
Silver, uh, what is
I
it
don't
called?
think ore is going to be an
Yeah,
item. You'd
like
have to add it manually or write it down or something like that. D&D Beyond isn't going to have an item that's silver ore.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look at
I'm an artist. I don't have anything to write on.
Mm.
that. It's okay. We remember you have 5 silver ore.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You would not
We,
believe how much of these notes are up in people's heads at
yeah.
any given time. All
Sometimes
right.
it just happens faster than I can type. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so, back to the minor folk then. Let them know the beast is vanquished.
Do we have to? Can't we just go back to town?
I, I mean, I suppose it's not exactly my mission. I,
Should we
I prefer to
talk to the people who sent us down here and tell
Oh,
them that we defeated the monster?
I
that's
guess we probably should.
sort of what I was suggesting.
Okay. So let's do that. Come on.
Job's done.
All right, so you make your way back up the quiet and peaceful mine. And as you come out the entrance, there are definitely a few people that have gathered around, um, awaiting your arrival. If I can flip over to their names. Um,
Oh,
Sybil Jenkins is definitely the first person to come up to you and just, so how did it go? Did you dispatch the monster?
it was effective.
Yes, we did.
Would have hoped, but the deed is done.
Well, that's good. I guess that means that tomorrow is going to be a work day. It's getting a little late. Uh, these
Ah,
miners probably have to get home to their families, but thankfully we will have a full day's work tomorrow.
indeed. I know the town was suffering not being able to mine its precious ores.
Indeed, the miners were definitely restless, but I'm sure they will perk right up. So I'll um I'll let them know the news. You should probably talk to Mayor Yvonne just so that she knows everything that happened.
Of
Indeed.
course. And if anything else pops up, feel free to contact us again.
Well,
Of course.
I don't know that I volunteer for anything so intense very soon, but I do thank you for your time, Sybil. You have a good evening.
You as well. And at this point, I think you would see Mayor Yvonne walking up the path with her staff. Um, so how did it go?
Beast is slain, if that's what you mean.
Good, good. Um, so I have received some news. There is a neighboring town about maybe 12 or so hours south. Um, I'm sure you might have heard of it. It is Twin Gulch. It's been experiencing some problems with theft from their mine, and their mine is running a bit low on
Yeah,
supplies.
Don't
Um,
take this the wrong way, but what is with all the mines?
we are on Gold Rush. It is the thing that we do here.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, what is with all the issues with the mines?
Well, mines are dangerous, and you dig into the earth, and things come out of it. The earth is alive, as I'm sure you are well aware. Um, and so things come out. We must deal with them. But this seems to be theft. Common thieves, perhaps. So no creatures deep within the mines.
thankfully for the townsfolk, I'm sure.
Yes. However, since their iron is running low, they need as much money as they can get so that they can find a new one, either pay a prospector or to scatter to the winds, whatever it is they need to do. Um, it seems the town is going to go bust very soon and they need as much money as they can get. Um, they are offering about 500 gold to someone who can dispatch uh, the thieves, um, and they will be willing to house you for free. They do not have a tavern. The town is very small, but they will give you a place to sleep and food for free um, if you go and figure out who is stealing the iron from the mines. Um, And hopefully, when the iron is returned, they will have enough money to fully evacuate the town and send them off to a new town or perhaps whatever other towns the townsfolk's heart desire. Um, so I think that is quite a good deal. It is only 12 hours away by horse. And I'm sure Gardi will be very happy to provide you with horses and a cart, uh, a wagon to make your way down. Um, it might be a good idea to rest first. Um, Perhaps finish up some business in town, speak to who you need to speak to, and get
Yeah,
going tomorrow bright and early.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll be sure to do that.
Of course.
thank you,
And
ma'am.
so she turns and begins heading off towards the town. I'm going to say with the time that you spent in the mine, it's probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock. The sun always stays up very, very late in the entirety of Ponderosa, since it seems to only have one season that is hot. Um, and so there's definitely going to be plenty of light until maybe about 9 o'clock, but you don't want to be camping out in the wilderness. So it is probably best that you find something else to do and to rest in your nice and comfy beds or your nice and comfy tent until it is time to leave.
I was just thinking that I would want to uh, go to my little campsite and safely secure my silver, because if we're going to be dealing with thieves, I don't trust that.
Very true.
Wise.
Um, So as you all get back to town and begin heading your separate ways, um, Chauncey, you see out in front of the general store where Des is currently, she's standing with a man that is on a horse. You recognize this is a mail carrier. The mail organization has sort of a pony express that is on each of the individual populated plates. They actually have like a golden disc hat with wings on it to sort of represent speed. And he's handing some packages and things that she's ordered or requested. And he also hands her a letter and turns and kind of gives you a salute when he sees and rides off. And Des begins sifting through her mail as you approach.
Anything good, Des?
Nope, just package. Oh, there is a letter for you. It's
Oh,
gone quite a long way. And she hands it to you. This thing is covered in stamps and um like both the little tiny like lick and stick stamps and the rubber stamps. It is covered. There are places that you've never heard of before. Um And just through the name, through it, you can make out a very familiar name. And I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Bellowa. I believe that's your
um,
sister, the archaeologist.
oh, Beulah.
Beulah. Okay,
Oh,
Beulah.
yeah.
Beulah.
My
Okay.
my 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 oldest. Oh, Beulah. My oldest sister, Beulah.
Yeah, it seems you have received a letter from her that has come a very long way through mysterious and strange places that you've never seen before. But the letter has made its way all the way to you. The envelope was probably pure white, but has aged quite a bit from possibly travel from across the stars. You know, she is currently on several expeditions to discover history of the old world before it was destroyed, and most of the history was gone, doing archaeological work out in the vortex. So mail takes quite a long time to make its way back. But she has somehow managed to do that.
Oh, thanks, Des. I'm gonna go read this. Maybe he's gonna go upstairs so he has some privacy before he opens it up and kind of just tries to see what's in this. How is it a heavy envelope? Is it?
It's not very heavy. Um, it's it's actually rather light. Um, Most of the weight is probably all the stamps that are stuck to it.
Yeah, I'll open
Um,
it when I get upstairs to my room.
all right. So inside you see a letter as well as an envelope sized on almost like some sort of Bristol board or card or something is a beautiful charcoal drawing that you recognize as your sister. And she is standing with her sort of collared shirt with pockets on it, tucked into some riding pants with riding boots. She has a whip at her side and sort of an Indiana Jones hat on her head. And she's standing there smiling um, next to a woman that you've never seen before. This woman has long white flowing robes. She actually has a veil that she has pulled over the bottom of her face that seems to be a sort of sheer veil. She wears a sort of very short but cylindrical hat with a lot of fancy embroidery all over it. It's very beautiful, and they're standing on what appears to be a street with a variety of figures walking past in opulent dresses with beautiful masks on their face. And it seems to be a nighttime scene. The artist has actually erased little stars out of the night sky, and they're beautiful iron lanterns that are and lampposts that are down this street. And the letter reads, Dear Chauncey, missing you. I haven't been able to write much because of my adventures. How are you and Delmas doing? I can't wait to come back to the material plane to meet up with you two again. In other news, I have also found a partner. As of writing, we've only officially been together for about 3 months, but we've been traveling together for over 9. She has been an invaluable asset to my journeys. Enclosed is a portrait of Pasha and I while visiting the city of Mask. I highly recommend. Hope to see you soon. With love, Beulah. And that's all the letter says.
Oh, well, Chauncey's just gonna he's gonna read the letter. He's like smiling. He's a little obviously he hasn't really told anybody in the family yet that he's single and not ready to mingle at the moment. So he's just
Mhm.
like, oh, and then he's gonna try to look around his room and maybe just scrapple together a picture frame and frame this little charcoal drawing and put it up somewhere on one of his walls.
That's so sweet.
Yep, so you now have a lovely picture of Beulah and Pasha
He's
that
gonna put it
is
right
hanging up.
next to, so like I feel like Chauncey's room is like a weird mix of like there's chaotic work areas and then very meticulously organized living spaces.
Oh, of course.
And it's not super big, so it runs in together at some points, but he's got like a little wall of like stuff about his family, and he's gonna hang it right next to another maybe an ink drawing of a woman who looks like very similar to him feature wise, aka it's another one of his siblings who yeah, he's gonna hang it next to her because I mean you gotta keep the fam together.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sure you have a lot more pictures of this sibling just because she's
Yeah.
doing stuff in Creators Hollow.
Mhm.
Perhaps you have one of her posters from one of her
Oh,
events
oh yeah, there's like
or
a
a few.
playbill. There's like
Yeah.
whatever the Creator's Hollow version of the Grand Ole Opry is. There's a little poster of her there at it, and he's just gonna put it up there with her.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't actually get a lot from Beulah all the time just because mail takes so long, but you might have a few sort of like historical looking knickknacks of things that have been picked up where she deems them historically significant enough to be interesting little trinkets, but not historically significant enough to keep it or to leave it or
Mm.
whatever. So you might have like a few like arrowheads or um
He's got a
old
little like
world
spinning top,
coins.
like some
Yeah.
ancient civilization toys that she gave him.
Yes, definitely. Just little things like that, probably in some sort of like nice, lovely display box or yeah. So yeah, this is the first picture that you've actually gotten of her in a while. And she does look like she is starting to sort of get a wee bit up there in age since she is one of the only one of your siblings that can really age. Um, so she is getting up there a little bit. Um, And you don't know how long ago this was that she sent it. She didn't put a date on it. So this could have been months or weeks ago with how slow the mail moves. So you have no idea. But yeah, you now have a picture. So while we are now in downtime for the evening, what else is everybody doing now that you have some free time before you hop on the cart tomorrow?
Well, that is a good question. Like, I'm wondering, I guess since the mayor asked, like, I guess Marcus is going. Um, fuck. Which means Lyla will maybe have to explain away her time to let's say te Teddy.
Hmm.
Yeah, something like that, you know. Oh, you know, a client. Oh, I've got to see him. It's been ages. When you get a letter like that, you know.
Ah, I
I'm
get you. Hopefully he pays for your travel, or they pay for your travel.
well, you know, my boys always take good care of me.
That's good. That's good to hear. I hope they pay you handsomely.
Well, I'll see you around, Teddy.
Certainly. Just make sure you leave your room clean.
Oh, of course, of course.
All right, so you now have an excuse for Lila's absence. Velantrios, is there anything that you would like to do?
So I am currently putting the silver ore that I got into my little hiding place, which is underneath um, a tree trunk. Um, and then after that, I guess I'll just be meditating, long resting, all that. I
All right.
see. The great thing about living in the outdoors is that I live alone. I get to do what I want. The downside is that there's not a lot of interaction.
Very true. It is a particularly quiet night tonight. The cicadas are not singing as loud for some reason. Perhaps the violence that happened the other day with the ship crashing into the mountain had scared a lot of the animals away from the area for a while. And as they're slowly returning, there is still sound, but there isn't a lot of sort of noises or animal companions running around. But there's still a few. There's a few squirrels, there's a few cicadas, maybe a fox. Um, but other than that, it seems to be quite a peaceful night. And you all gain the benefit of a long rest.
Oh,
Nice. Um, before the long rest, could we have like a small interaction maybe some role play real quick?
oh,
Sure. Who are
uh,
you role playing with?
I want Chauncey's gonna like try to find Lyla.
oh, lovely. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It'll give me a chance to fix her accent because I don't know why she was from like Chicago for a second.
After he like gets the picture of his sister up with the other stuff of his other sister, he's gonna go back out and I don't know. He's had a few weird exchanges today. He got flustered a lot in multiple times, so he's just gonna be like, I'm done with this. I can't just keep, And so he's gonna go to the she lives at the tavern, right?
Yeah, she
Hmm.
got
He's gonna just be like, he'll go up to Teddy, the bartender, and be like, is Miss Lyla here?
She was upstairs packing her bags.
Oh, could I go upstairs and chat with her real quick?
I'm sure she wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so Chauncey's gonna head upstairs and just like kind of like knock on the door frame. I don't know if is her door open? Is it closed? What's going on?
come on in, come on in.
Um, pardon, Miss Lyla?
Oh, well, I know I said I was looking forward to an evening with you, but I wasn't expecting you to come to call so soon.
Uh, uh, Miss Lila, it's nothing like that, Miss Lila. I I was wondering. Oh God, it's just. And obviously, like, Lovey May's with him, and she's kind of just standing in
Of
the
course.
doorway.
T
I
posing for
know.
dominance
Yeah.
in the
And he's just gonna be
background.
like, I was hoping I could maybe pick your brain for some of your. You seem a particularly skilled woman in certain regards, right?
Well, now, Mr. Chauncey, you need to give a lady a chance to sit down her bags before we have this kind of a conversation. Why don't you come over here and have a seat?
Apology. And he's gonna go sit down wherever she tells him to sit.
Like on the bed. She's like just patting the bed, doing her sultry little thing.
It's a regular, it's like just a literally a regular hotel room. So
Okay. Yeah.
Every time
It'll.
she talks, I'm just reminded of Blanche Devereaux.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm doing a little bit of Blanche Devereaux. We're doing a little bit of Roxy Hart.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he'll go sit down next to her and be like, so I don't know if you spoke with your cousin today. I had a I had a awkward exchange with. Well, you know how I moved to town, right?
Um, I have heard a bit, but do tell.
Delmas and I moved to town together, and we are not together.
Um,
And he's with someone new who just likes to antagonize me, and I don't really. He caught me off guard, and I just was so. I'm not good with people.
well, pray tell, my dear, what is the nature of this irritation? What is he doing?
He makes crude jokes about his relationship with Delm to me like it would hurt me, but I just want. If he makes Delmas happy, I just want Delmas to be happy, despite any bad blood that may be between us. I don't understand why he wants to pick fights with me, though, you know?
My dear, if I have learned anything in my travels, it is that what other people think and say about me is none of my business, and it has nothing to do with me. It's more about him than it is about you. Let him go on about his wicked ways. I'm sure you've got bigger and better things planned.
I mean, I suppose I always have things planned, Miss Lila. I'm working on 6 things at once at any given time. I mean, even while we were sitting here, I was just admiring the embroidery on your robe over there and wondering how we could change the configuration of the stitch work on it to possibly infuse it with a spell at one point.
Well, you do take such good care of me, but I think you spend far too much time worrying about others and not too much time worrying about yourself. See, you even have this little contraption walking around with you. So I don't know, are never alone. What is it that you want?
I want. Chauncey just kind of pauses and he gets like 1,000 yard stare.
the Disney music starts playing in the background.
And
I
he,
I want to be good. I want to help people.
then do that and fuck all to everything else.
Suddenly, everyone in the town is doing a choreographed dance.
So you think I shouldn't? What if he? So just I don't want to just grin and bear it the next time he antagonizes me, though.
What's
Can you teach me some snappy comebacks?
Nappy comebacks are useless against a man like that. What you need to do is show him that you're far above his petty insults. Improve yourself. Come back with wealth, power, fame, success, whatever your version of that is.
Hmm.
At least that's what I tried to do. You think I haven't heard plenty of foul words from men all about these parts? A lady in my profession. Of course I have. I don't let none of that bother me. I still look beautiful.
You know, Miss Lyla, you remind me of someone sometimes.
Oh yeah, and who might that be?
One of my sisters.
Can't say I've heard that before, but I am honored.
She and I, well, we both wanted to bring beauty, joy, good. We just, she's a singer, you know, back in Creator's Hollow.
Oh, how lovely. I'd love to see her perform sometime.
If we ever float out that way, maybe I can see if I can get us all some tickets.
That sounds fabulous.
Hmm.
How
Thanks for
about-
the advice.
Of course, of course. I just hope I've eased your troubles a bit.
I mean, you gave me a different angle to look at it.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Put on a happy face, turn yourself upside down, look at something a little different, learn something new.
Hetty said you're going somewhere too?
Oh, yes. One of my kindly menfolk has called upon me to pay him a visit.
Oh,
Old friend of mine.
well, that has to be exciting, right?
Well, I wouldn't say exciting. It's actually more of a comfort having somebody you can count on, but that you don't have to be quite responsible to, if you know what I mean.
I I've never had a scenario. If I understand what you're saying, I don't think I've only really ever had feelings for one person. Two? Well, two.
Well, from what I'm hearing, it doesn't sound like he's taking very good care of you at all.
I mean, I don't blame him, even if he does blame me for what happened. So,
Hmm.
and
Of
don't even get me started on the other one. Um, Thanks, Miss Lila.
course, of course. You come to call anytime, sweetheart. And if you do ever change your mind,
Oh, Miss Lila, I am flattered beyond compare, but my admiration of feminine charms and wiles ends at an aesthetic standpoint.
fair enough. Well, I suppose our next visit we'll just have to take a look at that embroidery then.
Oh, for your time, he's just gonna reach into his bag of holding and pull out like um a trinket, maybe just like a little like cameo brooch,
Sure.
and he's
Lovely.
just like something small. It's maybe he's like, I haven't been able to sell this for a few months, so here. I hope you like it.
I am sure my gentleman friend will be delighted at the new adornment.
Good luck with him. And um thanks again. And Chauncey's gonna like awkwardly get up off the bed and kind of go over to his he's gonna go over to his battle robot maid and she's gonna bow and they're both gonna leave.
So as this
Never do that.
happens, and you continue packing your bags, you catch a glimpse of yourself, Lila, in the mirror. And as you do, you see your reflection has one gold eye and one red eye. And it stands up a little straighter and approaches the mirror on its own. And it just says, well, well, I see you're heading out on new adventures, just like I said you would.
Well, of course I am. What else is a lady to do with her time?
Very true. So, what all did you find in that delivery, so to speak?
Okay, above game. I
Huh?
don't lost.
Oh, so you found um the wanted posters, the map.
Right?
You discovered the plan to make the Bubo Alpha, the sentry robot, that it
Right, right.
escaped, and then you found the body of the Yuan Ti
Right.
burglar that got impaled.
Okay, got you. Um,
Mhm.
okay, so Lyla, oh, all sorts of interesting things. Apparently there's some troublesome folk up to something just dreadful if it goes their way. Some kind of killing machine, I think.
Mm.
Central
Well,
pod or something. I don't understand all of that.
I'll certainly have to keep an eye on that.
Of course, there's a man traveling with us. He knows quite a bit more than any of the rest of the townsfolk do about things like this. I think he could be quite useful.
Yes, indeed. Definitely keep your eye on him and keep that ace up your sleeve.
You know, I always do.
And you
Wait, on who?
watch hmm,
Keep an eye on who?
him, the person that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Shh, secrets. And you watch as your reflection gets up and goes back into the exact same position that you are, blinks, and the eyes go back to normal.
Hmm. Always a bit of a start.
Velantrios will actually go to you as you are sleeping. You have a dream. You've had this dream several times. It's not so much a dream, it's more of a memory. Um, Somewhere close by, perhaps a few miles away or closer, wherever, somewhere. It's a dream. It's familiar, but far away. You're sitting under a tree with a older man. You're a very young child, still living in the wild, running back and forth with the wolves and the foxes and the rabbits. And he has been telling you about a person that he was indebted to, that helped him out when he was lost. And you remember him just gently telling you, anytime you need, you can reach out and she will respond. Just give her a ring. And at that point, he gets up and he offers you an apple before he leaves. You've had this vision a few times before. You do have that sort of vivid memory. You remember this was something that happened. There was a day where this happened. Um, and you wake up. So you all have finished a long rest, and it is now the morning. What all would you like to do?
Um,
Uh, let's say Lila is Marcus. Like she made her way over there in the night.
Right?
Like, I don't know, tending to the garden or something.
Right. Chopping wood.
Sure, fixing the leak in the gutter, something, you know.
um, Velantrios is probably doing his like annual morning bath and
Mhm.
getting ready for the day, um, et cetera, et cetera. Get after all that, heading into the town to meet his compatriots.
All
Uh,
right.
I'm gonna probably be. I tidied up my room a little. I tidied up. I'm tidying up like the my section of the shop, and yeah, Chauncey's gonna just next time he spots her, he's gonna be like, "Oh, Des, the mayor is. She's asked us to go help one of the nearby towns for a bit. Would you mind maybe watching my part of the shop a little longer for me?"
Sure, I can certainly do that, she says, spreading chili jam on a piece of toast.
Oh, that looks spicy.
And she picks up the jar and looks at it. That's the mild. It's early. Jar for the road, and she hands you a completely brand new one.
Oh, thank you, Des. I didn't make you anything lately. Oh,
You've brought enough business to my store. Might as well get a freebie every once in a while. Well, do you have any idea when I can expect to see you back?
it's gonna be, well, we're just trying to catch some thieves at one of the mines, so hopefully it won't be
Oh,
too long. A couple days, maybe, less.
all right. Do you know what town you're heading to?
Oh, does anybody above game, what's the name of the town again?
Twin something, Twin
Twin
Peak,
Gulch.
Twin
Twin
Gulch.
Gulch. Kind of the opposite. Um,
Oh, we're heading over to Twin Gulch. Have you been there before?
I don't think so. It's an iron mine, as far as I remember. They had a little trouble because they and another town, Pony's Paws, constantly argued on who was on the mail route, but I heard their iron mine is dwindling and it's probably going to go bust soon, like almost every single town here. But hey, that's part of the cycle. Um, but yeah, I've heard it's small and constantly shrinking.
Hmm.
Do you think Drake's Ridge is gonna survive?
Well, as far as I'm aware, they were able to sell off the dragon's horde once Yvon and Bixby and the other members of the party defeated the dragon. The dragon had quite the horde. And they sold off quite a bit of some of the artifacts and used the gold to purchase and pay for miners in the town as prospectors and things like that. So we are actually quite fortunate to have quite a big buffer of coin in the coffers. Um, but we still do need the silver to keep ourselves afloat. The horde's kind of coming to a bit of an end, as I've heard. Um,
Oh, well, let's put a pin in that for now, I suppose. It's just another looming catastrophe that at least that has a bigger buffer than whatever's going on in Twin Gulch.
Right. Silver mines generally last about 50 years, and the mining started about maybe 10, 15 years ago. Town was founded 20. So,
Hmm.
if anything, you've got about 40 years left in this town. You'll probably have a place to go by then, and if you want to get out of this boom and bust land.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, Des, I've got nothing but time in the future.
Right.
Yeah. My
Well, good
family,
luck with
we
everything.
we do age very gracefully, one might say,
Hmm.
at least once you hit adulthood. So, thanks. Thanks, Des. I'll again for the jam. I'll have to maybe I can hmm. You know me. I'll figure out something to whip you up.
Okay.
Um
Well, no pressure.
feel free if you think you can to run a sale or I don't, you're better at mercantilism than I, so if you think you can take someone for a little bit more than you'd normally charge, also do that. I trust you.
Fair enough. All right. Well, you stay safe out there.
Oh, I'm don't worry. We're all in at this point. He's just gonna like chuckle and look over at Lovey May. We're always safe. Bye. And he's just walking out with like his bag of holding that's vaguely shaped like a stuffed animal and a walking battle robot doll made thing. And Chauncey's a weirdo, even in this town, probably.
Yeah. Um, so you see, as you all are kind of coming together in kind of it's not really a town square in the sense that it has a nice lovely cobblestone and a fountain and gardens and things like that. It's more of just the largest place where wagons can kind of go in a circle and turn around and go towards different roads. Um, it's just a wide plain of dirt at the between the mayor's house and the start of the buildings that make up the main street. There's a nice big open dirt plain where there is a wagon that has been pulled up. You see the half orc Gertie standing there and talking with Virgil in Virgil guise, and they're talking as all three of you kind of come up, and Gertie just, well, I managed to get all of some of the horses together for you. Just make sure you bring old Sugar Dust and Cinnamon back all alive. Um, I may or may not have picked the cutest horses for y'all, but they are quite fast, so don't worry, you'll be there in no time. Also, please don't damage the wagon. I hate fixing this thing, and it's the only one we got. So just make sure you bring it all back in one piece. Mayor Yvon's paying for it, so don't worry. Um, I have a map here, and she gives you a map so that you know where you are going. Essentially, you're just going to be heading south, um, just a straight shot south until you hit Twin Gulch. Um, Not really much interesting in between, maybe a few copses, trees, maybe a few cliffs and bluffs and rock formations. But other than that, it's a pretty wide open road that you're gonna pass through before you get to anything interesting.
Anyone have a banjo?
Well, actually, let me look. Marcus might
Oh,
Marcus might have something.
an
I
instrument. I mean, you are a bard.
think I have a hang on, I have a flute. Um, nope, I do not have anything resembling a banjo.
Oh, there goes the Western soundtrack for traveling.
And I can play you a little Piccadilly on my Piccadillo.
Sure, why not?
Uh, no.
You just Chauncey's just gonna climb into the back. He's got his wide brimmed sun hat on, and then
Hmm.
there's just like the slightest clicks as he's just out of his bag. He's pulled out a pair of knitting needles. He's just knitting in the back.
Velantrios will probably be the one taking the reins. Druid, animal handling.
Right. So you'll be handling cinnamon and sugar dust.
I
Yes.
pee my pants.
The names were a little bit on the cutesy side. Well, that's Gertie's personality.
No, it's
She is a
100.
horse girl.
I'm in. So cinnamon and sugar dust are taking us down the road. It's a 12-hour journey, apparently.
Oh
Yep,
boy.
it's around a 12-hour journey.
Um,
So if there's any role play that you all would like to do on the way down, I would like Velantrios to make an animal handling check. I will also allow you to cast any spells you think you would that would help you, like if you have speak with animals or if you have animal friendship or something like that that you could cast, you certainly could, and I'll give you advantage on the check. But other than that, it'll be a straight animal handling check.
Okie dokie. It is going to be 26.
Oh my
of
goodness.
this. Of course it is.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Get out.
So did you cast animal friendship or speak with animals, or did you just roll a 26?
I just rolled a 26
Straight up.
with
All
animal
right.
handling.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, cinnamon and sugar dust are very easily led by you. You don't have to crack the reins at all. You don't have to yell at them to giddy up. They just seem to do what you want them to do as they trot
No.
on down the road. It is 12 hours. So I'm going to need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Uh,
All right. 16.
All right.
Where's Constitution again?
Your con
It's
save
the
should be on the left.
yeah.
Straight down in like in between strength and dex if you're full screened.
Strength and Dex. Ah, there you are.
And then I'll need one
6.
from Jed as well. 6?
Ooh.
Oh no.
I got a 24.
Wow.
And how much did Jed get?
Hang on. I don't know what Jed got. Jed gets, let me make sure he doesn't have a save bonus. Nope. Jed gets, no. Oh. Jed gets a 9.
Oh no. All
Yeah.
right. So this amount of travel, straight shot 12 hours, breaks for bathrooms.
Ugh.
The heat starts to get you a little bit since you're rolling down the road. So Velantrios and Jedidiah are going to have 1 point of exhaustion, which gives you disadvantage on skill checks. I believe that's all it does. That will go away with a long rest.
So
Bumpy road. I don't know what's
it's a negative temporary hit point, is it?
hang on.
No,
Exhaustion is weird. So if you go, okay,
I
you
forget
still,
where it is because
are
I'm
you,
trying to look it up.
I got you. Okay, go to uh where is it? Oh, okay. You see on your character sheet where it says conditions?
Uh,
It should be on the right-hand side.
yes,
Okay, click on that, and then if all the way at the very bottom of that little window that opens, there's exhaustion levels.
I see unconscious.
Yep, it
Oh
should be
wait, there we go.
underneath. Yeah. And then so you can click it. There's a little chevron, little drop down, little arrow thingy, and it'll tell you what the different levels do. So exhaustion level 1 is disadvantage on all ability checks.
All right.
Which I will say because you made your animal handling check, like basically pretty early on in the journey, and you got your point of exhaustion pretty late, it's not going to affect your ability to drive the horses. However, it'll affect your ability to do things like run for an extended period of time or be extra persuasive or whatever until you take a long rest.
Okay.
So once you take a long rest, that level of exhaustion will go away. But until then, you have
Uh,
disadvantage on skill checks.
and
I
like,
don't know. I would hope after a 12-hour travel, we would want to take a long rest.
yeah, probably just gonna find an inn or something. Like,
So you all pull up to Twin Gulch. Twin Gulch is, like everyone has been telling you, tiny. It is a gulch that the road runs along before it splits and then goes into a wide canyon. Um, it is Rattlesnake Gorge that's on the other side of Twin Gulch. It's not a very deep canyon, probably maybe like 20 or 30 feet, but it is miles wide of flat dust and clay, just as far as you can see. Um, but Twin Gulch, the town, actually stands on an outcropping of rock that rises up between the sides of the gulch. And there are two bridges that are wide enough for a cart, surprisingly, that are built between the two stone bridges. The town is tiny. There is no inn. All of the buildings are very close together. There are thankfully trees that are growing on this little outcropping, but it is tiny. Probably maybe 70, 80 people live here.
well,
Like you would accidentally pass by it if you didn't know it was there.
Very, very much one blink long, two blinks wide kind of town.
whoops.
I
Well,
mean,
shit. Suppose we ought to set up camp.
I was just about to say, I hope you guys don't mind sleeping under the stars.
At this point, you see a dwarven woman. She comes out of the biggest building that has a clock on the top of it. Um, it looks like this building was built for a bigger town, but the town never grew that big.
Ah,
And as you are crossing the bridge, she comes running up. Why, hello there. You must be the folks that Mayor Yvon sent over from Drake's Ridge.
Yes, we
yeah,
are.
that would be us.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome to our lovely little town. So as I'm sure you noticed, we don't exactly have a tavern.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
but we do kinda have a post office. And she points over at a building, and almost comically, you watch as the post office sign just
Balls.
falls with a huge wooden crash as it hits the dust. We'll
Well,
get that fixed eventually.
that should be fine for tying up the horses then.
Oh, certainly. We'll make sure that these beautiful, beautiful horses have a nice place to stay.
You were going
Um,
to cinnamon.
so you all are going to be staying in the town hall. We have it'll keep you nice and dry and warm. But we don't exactly have a tavern. Um,
Oh,
That's fine. As long as there are cots that we can use to sleep, it'll do.
yeah, we made sure to get you all cots. Um,
right.
so I did want to kind of talk through, um, because we'll just do this all tomorrow, the whole investigation thing tomorrow, as I'm sure that journey was quite something.
Indeed.
Um, yes. Well, there has been a little development. You see, it used to be for the past few months, we've been noticing some ore going missing and some dynamite and maybe a pickaxe here and there, and we thought that maybe someone was trying to make a break for it. But it was too consistent, of theft of iron. And, well, 2 days ago, we sent some of the miners back after hours. We actually kept them home and told them to go to sleep. And then sent them in on like a night shift to kind of sit outside the mine for a whole night. And when we woke up, they were all gone.
Uh,
Um,
I'm, would you mind? You said the miners were gone.
yeah, just up and vanished.
Okay.
We think it was either in a hurry or a kidnapping because they had drinks and the cups. We found them all over the ground. Some of them were spilled, some of them might have been empty beforehand, but seems
Fascinating.
they vanished in a hurry, um, either from kidnapping or from fleeing. We're not quite sure. Um,
Have you? How long ago was that?
that was about uh, we sent them in 2 days ago, so yesterday morning was when we discovered them missing. We have our lovely newspaper lady printing up some of the missing posters. Sadly, her husband was one of the ones that went missing. So she's
Well, sadly for
had quite a day.
we
Um,
got here 2 days after.
yes, we haven't really touched anything at the scene, just in case we disturb something, so you can go up and check it tomorrow. It hasn't been too windy, so perhaps you could still see the tracks of whoever did this. We did see a lot of footprints, um, but you know,
All right. At any rate, madam, what was your name again?
I don't think she ever introduced herself. Um, you can call me Pickaxe Peggy.
Peggy then. Listen,
I happen to be the mayor of the town, so thought I'd meet you personally myself before I sent you up. Um,
do thank you for the kindness, Madam Mayor. Would you mind showing us where it is that we'll be resting?
Yes, come on in. And so she pulls you into the town hall. Um, it is a very spacious building. It's obvious that there's like a front office where presumably a secretary or administrative assistant would be. There's then double doors in the back where there's kind of a meeting hall or a feasting hall or something of that nature. Um, and there happens to be a small, like not very wide and not very deep stage of which you see four cots set up on. We figured that it might be easier to set you up on stage so that the curtain was for your privacy in case we needed to use this for anything else. Of course, we'd knock, but we just wanted to make sure that you had your privacy. And since none of the other rooms were available, since I live in the only other room that's upstairs, and I can't have you sleeping in the offices with all the files and things, this was the best option.
Velantrios is just like, it'll do. And he literally just walks up to it and just falls onto the bed.
Oh, well, someone's had a hard day.
You
Um,
are anxious to get some rest, yes, and we do thank you for your hospitality.
all right. Well, I guess I will leave you to do your unpacking and your getting to resting, and we will come back and talk through the rest of this tomorrow.
Thank you again, kindly.
And she kind of nods and walks out, and she kind of shuts the doors behind her. And you are now alone in the room if there's anything you would like to do before you take a long rest.
Just sleeping. Well, trouble. Oof.
Velantrios, while his face is muffled by the bed, is going to say, "So, what do you guys think? Are the miners secretly stashing their stuff, or is something else at play?"
They probably got 8.
Uh,
Well, he's got a point. Chauncey at this point, you just watch as he pulls a. He's switched over from the knitting needles to a big fat sewing needle with yarn in it, and he's created like a little amigurumi fucking plush toy of a Zorn after yesterday. And you just
ah,
watch him like pull, and his mouth, like his mustache tweaks just a little as he draws his upper lip, and he cuts it with one of his fangs, the yarn,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just gonna be like, I mean, he probably has a point, and he's just gonna hold up his little, he does a little inspection, and he goes, "Does this look? It looks it," and he just turns around like a cutified little Zorn plush.
I think it's missing a few teeth.
But I need the kids are gonna want to play with it still. I can't put actual teeth in there.
Yeah, and that I suppose it's fine. You
I
gonna
would put like a little cute little 3 cat mouth.
Oh, just like a cat mouth instead of an open, horrible
Yeah,
sarlacc
big,
pit.
terrifying sarlacc hole? Yeah.
with like little like like little flat fangs peeking out.
Good one.
Yeah, maybe you have a point there. I just thought, I thought it could be a toy that could also be storage. That's why we have like the little recession in the mouth area. But
Ah,
uh,
okay.
eh,
I
it's a
would have never
fight.
thought.
He just starts shoving it in his bag.
All
All
right.
right, Blanches is going to be asleep at this time.
Yeah, yeah, we're fucking
All right. All right. So what are all of your passive perceptions?
Oh,
Um,
For no
14
particular reason.
uh,
and death is
15.
So Chauncey's is gonna be kind of butt because it's
Oh,
probably
right.
really bad because he has negative wisdom. But um, Lovey May doesn't sleep and cannot ever be surprised
nice.
because she's a steel defender. One of her features is vigilant. So she's the ultimate guard dog.
Love that for
So
us.
I'm going to say that in the middle of the night, you feel jolted awake
Hmm.
by Lovey May, who is standing next to your bed, a hand on your shoulder, the other hand holding. Does she have like a sword or something? I don't quite remember. Or is she just punchy punchy?
She punches, and when she's in battle mode, her limbs lengthen a little bit, like Silent Hill Bayonetta-esque.
Love it.
All right. So you'll see that she is in battle mode. Uh, and for a moment you don't quite know why. And then you hear outside the town hall from somewhere, some window is thin enough for open. You hear a cackling.
All
If you
right.
would like to make a nature check, you may.
Okay.
Oof.
Can I also make a nature check?
Do you think you'd be awake or do you think you'd be woken up?
Well, I mean, my passive perception is 15. Would I be able
If you're
to?
conscious.
Uh,
Okay.
you went to sleep.
I got a 23 on a nature check.
That's a
Nice.
hyena. You're hearing a hyena cackle.
Told you they got 8 above game.
Chauncey's just gonna be like, get the rest, get everyone else up. And he's just gonna like he does it's just a bag of holding. It's a fun little stuffed animal bag thing that he sleeps with sometimes. He just undoes the mouth flap, reaches in and pulls out a fucking giant maul,
Oh,
comic
yep.
oversized maul
Good
as
old
he gets
Pyre
up.
Mall.
Love it.
And he's just gonna like start slowly getting up. Or while she gets everybody else up, maybe he'll slip on his armor first.
Yeah, so
And
the two of you are, and of course Jed, are woken up by Lovey May jolting you awake. And you do hear these sort of distant hyena cackles.
That. Love him, hey, what is that?
What
Gosh,
now?
you can't talk.
they're hyenas. But they sound like hyenas.
Hyenas. I don't
We're in the
talk.
middle of nowhere. Of course, they're going to be hyenas.
I'm surprised it ain't a coyote.
I was gonna. This is. I mean, it's a biome that may be able to support them, but I didn't expect their geographical distribution to be this far. Well, never mind that. We don't
Can't.
have time to discuss zoology. Let's.
What are zoo hyenas? Well,
At
okay.
this point, you hear someone shout, Varmus, you freaking varmints! And you hear several gunshots
Ugh.
before multiple cackling that moves away from all of the buildings.
I'm awake. He's gonna grab his hand axe. It's like blinking. Where are you going?
You do see someone, you hear a shave and a haircut, two bits knock on the door before it creaks open and a townsperson pokes their head in. Sorry for the disturbance. The hyenas have been getting a little active lately, so sorry about that. Hopefully we didn't disturb you. And
With
he
And
slowly
as
shuts the door.
Velantrios, oh, before he does that, Velantrios is just like uh shoots up and gives him like the death glare of like horror.
right,
Yeah,
right.
and he instantly just
Mm-hmm.
and shuts the door.
Yep.
Hmm.
Uh, and
And
Velantrios walks
Blasted
out.
hyenas. Ugh. I thought somebody was actually in trouble.
Better safe than sorry.
Fair enough. So I guess just back to bed then. Sounds like they chased him off. I'm getting some rest.
All right. Lovey May will she'll continue holding watch for us. Thank you. Thanks, Lovey. Everyone say thank you, Lovey.
Shut up.
she kind of goes back into regular mode. I guess that's what we'll call it, regular mode. Um, and you all finish your long rest. Um,
Lovely. Lovely gal.
you are woken up by the doors to the this sort of meeting hall opening up and incoming Pickaxe Peggy, mayor of the town,
It's turning.
along
Oh,
with another man um who has sort of a pickaxe in his tool belt. He's an elf. He has like a dusty red hair, a little bit of a beard, but not too much, of a little bit of stubble here and there. Um, and he is actually holding a sort of bag, and he starts handing you all like muffins and bagels. Well, it's the best I could do for now. Um, we don't really have a lot of interest in breakfast options, like I'm sure you do over in Drake's Ridge. But the sooner we get to this investigation, the better. I am the foreman of the mine. I am Cheyenne Pearson. Lovely to meet you. And he shakes all your hands.
pleasure.
I'm here to take you up to the mine so that hopefully you can do your proper investigations.
Well, then let's walk and talk.
All right. Make sure you have plenty of water. It is a bit of a hike up to the mine.
Of course it is.
So he takes you out, and you all begin to walk up the sort of winding road that has some bushes and rocks here and there. Um, and once again, remind me of everyone's passive perception. I know Chauncey's probably not going to see this.
14 here and
15.
10,
uh,
15.
Uh,
12 for Jed.
Okay.
Loving Maze is going to be 16.
Okay. So, um, Chauncey, you feel Lovey May go into attack mode again. Velantrios, as you're kind of scanning the horizon and taking in a little bit of the scenery, you see three hyenas standing there staring at you. They are quite a ways away, but they're definitely staring at your group. If you would like to make a nature check, you may.
Okay, 1 second. Um, is it skills or abilities?
Skills.
Skills. Also, make sure you uncheck your exhaustion because you took a long rest.
Oh,
Way
right.
ahead of you.
Yeah.
Nature. Come on, baby. 18.
Awesome. There's something really off about these hyenas. There's something
I,
really off about the way they're standing, about the way they're staring at you, about what they're doing. Usually they're scavengers. They're looking for prey. They're looking for dead animals to pick apart. They usually follow predators or follow vultures or other things like that. This seems way more active. Not active searching, almost like active hunting.
Hmm.
Um, and at this point, Cheyenne kind of pulls out a pistol and just hyenas and just shoots a bullet into the air and they scatter.
Uh, Big problem with the hyenas lately.
Yep, they've been getting a little more active lately. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe something big died, like I don't know, a herd of bison or something, but
Did
they've
it?
been getting a little bolder lately. They've been running through the town, surprisingly. I heard you had a little scare last night.
Uh,
um,
yeah. And it,
Velantrios asks, I with while still looking in the direction where the hyenas were standing and
Right.
ran away. Um, have there been? I have to ask, have there been more and more hyenas have as time has passed?
Yes, there's been a bit of an influx of them. Like I said, I'm sure something big has died. Herd of bison, maybe heaven forbid a dragon, but Perhaps.
Hmm. Well,
And Velantrios is like, I doubt it.
wouldn't you suppose if something large like that had died, we would see it or smell it,
Well, it
being
depends on how far away it is.
the hyenas seem to be pretty close by.
Very true. But other than that, they ain't done nothing. They're just
Hmm.
running around, maybe causing a bit of trouble, cackling at people, but other than that, not really anything. Of course, Velantrios, they don't do this. Hyenas don't like going up to people. They don't like confrontation with humanoids.
Mhm.
So something is not right with these hyenas.
Oh,
And you instinctually know this.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure I know what's happening.
So you all finally make it to the mine. There is a sort of camp set up with these big tents, um, where miners very clearly could sit down. There's even a nice, lovely, almost a you don't know why it's set up this way, but it kind of almost has like a pergola over the entrance to the mine. There's some crates that were set out in like makeshift box with tables, a bonfire. And you see about, let me recount the number. You see about 7 copper cups, all of which, except for one, all of which have been scattered on the ground, one of which is sitting on the corner of one of the boxes. Um, well, this is the scene of the disappearance. I'll let you all do your thing. You can go into the mine if you'd like, in case there's evidence inside there of a theft. We have had items missing from deeper in the mine, especially the dynamite. Um, so perhaps if you could look for clues in there, that would be good.
Of course, we'll take a look around.
Blanchard's
Well,
over his shoulder says, "Thank you for your help."
of course, I'll leave you to it. I have some miners to take care of. Also, might be a good idea. Um, Goldie Martin, kind of our resident journalist, of sorts, aspiring journalist, printed off this nice, lovely list of the missing people, as well as a little physical description of them. Um, and so he hands you a sheet of paper. This might help with your investigation, hopefully. Maybe you can, figure out who's who and what's what. Um, but these are all the people that went missing. These were all here, and yeah, well, I will leave you to it then. And he kind of gives you a little salute and starts heading back down the trail.
Indeed.
I suppose we should start looking then. And Chauncey and Lovey May are she's got her like parasol open over him for sun shielding sake, and he's just gonna start looking around the area. Maybe he's gonna pull out a different pair of like sunglasses and adjust them on top of his eyes as he casts guidance on himself before he does an investigation check.
All right.
Hmm.
Oh no, that's a nat one. Ugh.
Oh no.
Oh,
A
Uh,
nat one on an investigation check is still a nine for me, but
And would I be able does enhanceability help?
not afterward.
well,
Yeah.
nine
not
plus
afterward,
four
but
for the guidance. I got a 13 for an investigation check with a nat one, which is fucking gross still.
It actually
Okay.
is gross.
yeah, I'm gonna say that this isn't gonna pass it. The sun is just really bright. With Drake's Ridge, there's things like mountains and a few rocks and buildings in the way. This is just full on sunlight directly into your eyeballs, and even the parasol isn't quite helping. And so you're kind of just trying to look around. If anyone else would like to make an investigation check of some kind.
Could
Sure.
could I do, let's do a bardic inspiration.
Ooh.
It's like a little bit of role play also and be like, didn't turn up nothing over there. And like call that my bardic inspiration. I'm gonna give it to Chauncey again.
All right.
Oh, sick.
Um,
I,
I
I
will
saw
do,
you just rolled, yeah.
Oh, wait, can I add it to whatever I just rolled?
No, I mean, but I guess if you did another one, maybe, or you
I
can
mean,
whatever.
Or you can
Let
give it to Velantrios, who is currently making an investigation check.
He
before I announce
he
it,
doesn't need it.
Oh,
I rolled
oh,
a 19.
Yeah.
all right. So you look around and there are footprints of the miners who came up here. They clearly came up here, they sat down, they were drinking. You see some bottles of like whiskey. They were clearly pouring whiskey into these copper glasses, into these copper cups. Everybody pulled up a box and was sitting on a box. And you definitely see a lot of other footprints, which you would instantly recognize as hyena prints around the camp as well. And then there are all the cups that are on the ground. There's about 6 cups that are all on the ground, copper. They're empty. The ground around it is dry, but that might not have been the case when they fell. And there is one that is also empty that is sitting on the corner of the box that's kind of in the middle that they were using as a table. Um, and that's what you get from your investigation check around this sort of little area.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Velantrios is like carefully walking around the site, looking at the mix of footprints and paw prints, and he looks to uh sorry, do you guys mind like changing your names to your characters' names?
Oh, what in Discord? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in Zoom. Yeah.
Or in yeah. You know what I meant.
In Discord. We're not using Discord.
I
Whatever.
don't pretend to be someone who's good with names.
There we go.
There we go. Marcus.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hi. He looks to Marcus and Chauncey and he says, I think I have an idea of what's going on here.
Here to share.
I don't know how and I don't know why, but I think the miners have been turned into the hyenas.
Well, that would be interesting. Hmm.
Hyenas don't normally interact with people, they like to stay to themselves. Not only that, but the hyenas that we came across had far more intelligence in their eyes than normal hyenas do.
Uh-huh. And we haven't seen any corpses, bodies, clothing.
Nothing.
Huh. Well,
Also, if you look
nice.
towards here, and he points to the where all the footprints and the paw prints are. I'm assuming the paw prints didn't come from any direction; they were just there.
No, the paw prints came in. They came in and they left, but the footprints only came in. They didn't leave.
Right. So the footprints didn't they came in, but they never came out, as opposed to the paw prints.
Well, are there more sets going in than out? Or the other way round? I'm not good at that sort of thing.
I'm assuming yes.
Um, I'm sorry, what was the question? I'm trying to formulate the answer. What was the question?
Uh,
Are
he had asked if
are
there
there
sets
more?
going out than in.
With your investigation check, seemingly no. Same number came in, same number left.
But are the paw prints fresher than the footprints?
They are. The ones that are coming in are fresher, and the ones that are coming out are fresher than the boot prints.
Right.
well, that explains the missing miners, but what would they have need for anything in the mine for?
Well, I can't imagine. Well, so we do know they did not leave of their own accord. And for what reason hyenas would come and kidnap miners? It doesn't seem that they were harmed. There's no blood.
Yeah.
Well, I
Right.
suppose we should take a look inside the mines then.
Yeah.
Uh, shall we go?
It's, yeah, please. Somewhere a little darker, but it's so bright today. Oh,
Yes, I forgot about your delicate complexion.
mm.
Do
and
you
I
mind if I use
mean,
the do you mind if I use the bathroom?
Oh,
Yeah, actually, before we head into the mines, we're going to take a quick break. So we will see you all next week, and I will see the rest of you all in about 5 minutes.